When I was young, I've learned that you have to dream big, you have to aim high, and that has always been the thought that lingered all throughout. You are rewarded with praises when you have achieved something, reached something that society deemed success. Go to school, graduate, get a job, and if you live in a third world country, get a job abroad. I'm sure it's not just me, but we see how people are treated based on the standard our society has established. And I can understand that. I'm all for it. These people have worked hard to be where they want to be, to achieve the things that they set out to do. They deserve the praise, the accolades. I think that's one thing we shouldn't be stingy about, giving praise to someone who deserves it. I guess I guess the disparity, I mean, if you can call it that, is the treatment given based on this world's standards. People are different. We have different visions in life, what we want, how we want to live, and whatever else you can think of. We also have different personalities, and sometimes these personalities somewhat influence how we want to structure the life we want to live. What if you don't want the fame? What if you don't want fortune, a vast amount of fortune? What if you don't want all the praises? What if you just want to live a simple life and not live lavishly? What if you don't want to live in a mansion? The thing is, you have to ask, why do people look down on that? They may not say it explicitly, but there are times where you can hear it in their tone. It's as if there's a tinge of disappointment, and you feel like you are treated differently, whether consciously or unconsciously. One can never really know. But it doesn't erase the fact that you do feel that. And I have to admit, it doesn't, well, it does enter your mind, and it does make you question yourself. Sometimes you go spiraling down to the point of feeling sorry for yourself, questioning the decisions you have made along the way, thinking if you should have conformed to the demands of this world. The thing is, something shifts when you grow old. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But in my case, something did shift from me. When I was younger and having all these plans for myself, achieve all these things in my mind. But when I got pregnant, I guess that was my shift. It's as if my life went to, in some ways, it kind of stopped and made me reflect. Not in a bad way. It's like from thinking of what I wanted to have in life, what I want to do in life, to thinking about having that satisfaction of just being a mother, because that was what was needed. And I know people will see that differently. After all, we are different. They will see it, well, some will see it as a waste of time. Or, what a shame. What a shame that I seem to have stopped, and that I could have achieved more. I find this true, especially if, as a child, your school years, you have shown that you're capable, and that's probably in quotation, capable. But you have shown that you are capable of achieving more, at least how they see it. When people ask, what do you do? And you know that they are asking your work, your job, and when you answer, I'm at home right now with the kids, usually there's that, oh, you hear that enough a time with variations. That what is supposed to be a normal question, it kind of becomes a dreaded one. And life isn't perfect. We all know that. We all have our ups and downs. And when you're down, the things that used to not bother you, those are the ones that become the loudest. And sadly, those are the questions. Those are the doubts that creep in. And it is such a horrible experience. A horrible feeling. It is a horrible feeling that it can cause, because there is a fact that life is a constant moving forward of things. It's horrible because these feelings are like, they're like just eating you from the inside. You get consumed by it. And you can't really do anything about it. Not really. It's not like you can press restart or just delete the things you want changed. Now what happens is you are left feeling like being dragged underneath. You feel like you're gasping for air. It's hard to imagine that people can go through that, but I feel like I know it's just not me. We may have different contexts in our lives, but that reaching of a breaking point, that kind of feeling, and maybe I'm not just ambitious enough. Maybe the life I want is not as grand as what other people want for their lives. Or maybe even for my life. Because it seems like that happens also. But I have to constantly remind myself that the life I live is the life I chose to live. And simple things are hard to achieve, but I'm striving for it. That it is okay if people cannot see it that way. You do have to remind yourself that that is okay. At the same time, I also have to acknowledge that there will be down times, and that is okay too. That if there is something life itself can show us, is that it doesn't stop. It just goes on, even with adversities. Do I sound like I'm just defending myself? Or defending what I want? Does it sound like coming from a person who is just stubborn? Am I just rationalizing things? Because I feel like I'm not alone in this. That maybe if you have a different vision for yourself, maybe even going the opposite direction from mine, we still go through the same thing. We feel what we feel. I guess I'm curious.